Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. I subscribe for the many of the Telegram channels and today I'll post some of the news from Ukraine. Let's go. First one that we have coming from Melitopol, the Russian army actually retreated from this city and they want to regroup to Kherson Oblast. So at first we expect them to take Zaporizhia from Melitopol area, but now they regroup and probably gonna leave this part of occupied territories in favor of Ukraine. This is the clear sign that Russian army is in lack of resources. Firstly, of course, human resources, because they afraid to announce the massive mobilization of their population, as we did here in Ukraine. The truck over here is Tatra T815-7. It has the mounted rocket artillery system, actually from Uragan, 220 caliber rockets. There are 16 of them. The problem that the maximum range is just 35 kilometers, and this truck, as you can see, it's massive compared to MLRS rocket artillery system that United States will give to us. There is a news coming from Brestovo village. It's on a crucial road that connects Bakhmut and Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. There are some fighting going on and we shelled the artillery systems toward the Russian side, but we don't know what is happening there right now because of the fighting. We'll see the situation, how the situation develops tomorrow, my friends. Sometimes you say in the comments that China supports Russia. Maybe government supports, but not the business. They are afraid to be sanctioned by the Western countries, and that is why Chinese Huawei is closing their official stores and representatives in Russia. As you see, if most of the governments apply sanctions for a particular country, the rest of the jobs business does. People continue to send their cars to the military service, and this car, as you see, was under attack by Russians, and that is why we need lots of cars for our military guys. Armored vehicles, of course, is better, but still we need cars. This is Mariupol, my friends. I'm surprised that there are so many people, and the only point that where you can get some food is the big metro mall, and everyone is going there just to take the food. Terrible picture, my friends. Terrible what Russia is doing there. The result of the 84 RPG fire to the BTR, as you can see, it's totally devastated. Here's the engine. Well, actually nothing left from that vehicle. I think the ammunition detonated and just across the fields, and probably you'll not find the crew there. The biological remains just evaporated in that case. Finally, Poroshenko returned to Ukraine. People saw him in Lviv. The Kharkiv city was attacked just yesterday, and Russia said that they fired towards the military factory that was used to fix the tanks and armored vehicles, but actually they hit the mall Vostok. That is what is left from this mall. As you can see, the rocket shelled here. I'm quite afraid now because yesterday I also went to the mall here near to the place where I live, and we got the air siren, so yeah, it was quite difficult mentally. Japan and NATO to step up military cooperation. Well, my friends, I think Japan should join NATO. They have the similar or same goals defending their areas and countries. Great news coming from Norway. They send us 22 of those units. Those are M109 artillery systems that are already fighting on the front lines of Ukraine. This briefing is published by the British Defense Intelligence. It is published today, and they say that Russia continued to attempt to take the Severodonetsk under their control. That is what we saw in my previous video, my friends. They want to take this city hard, and while Russia is concentrating on offensive on Donbass, on other sectors they are mostly on their defense, and Ukraine has some success in their counterattacks. They say that both Russia and Ukraine face similar challenges in maintaining a defense while filling up capable combat units for offensive operation. Great Britain promised us to give those brimstone rockets to unblock the corridors, the sea corridors from our Ukrainian ports, to deliver seeds all over the world to help third countries with food. Russian propaganda leader Solovyov said that Ukrainian army lost 200,000 soldiers. Why not 200,000 million soldiers? That map shows how the war developed here in Ukraine. For the timeline, I would say the 24th of February, it all started from the bombardment. Next day, Russia crossed the border with Ukraine with its forces. Belarus gave its territory. They went to the suburbs of the Kiev. Oh, my friends, it's a hard time. I remember me visiting my parents, then Russians were just 10 kilometers away from Borispol city. I heard and I saw the loud bangs from artillery shells. It was scared a little, my friends, and after that they retreated their forces from Kiev, and now they concentrated most parts on the south and on the eastern part of Ukraine, and according to the recent news, on the south they also retreat from Melitopol. On this drone photo you see how war changes ground. Lots of shells were fired to those fields. Here you can see devastated building, and it is some kind of part of the city before the war and during this war. We have a concept now published for Gostomel airport development. Before it was like that, and now the new terminal will be built after the war is over. Obviously, we'll call this airport Ruzzia Airport. And a friend of mine, Dmitry Antonov, the chief pilot of Antonov Airlines, I think he will also participate in the Antonov development in the future. Now they have the management change because actually the previous management betrayed the Antonov Airlines. They didn't announce any kind of evacuation of those planes. They just stayed in Gostomel and were devastated by Russian army. This footage was filmed in Irkutsk, so Russia continued to send their forces. We saw the rocket artillery systems, engineering vehicles, BTRs, and many more. So they are not stopping their forces at this point. They're escalating this war in Ukraine. Great news coming from Poland, my friends. They will give us 50 of those self-propelled artillery system units. Krabs. This is the southern part of Ukraine, Kherson Oblast, where Ukraine had successful counterattack, and now Russia sends reinforcements to try to get that land again. There is some information that Ukraine will get the Iron Dome systems to protect our cities. Those systems are mainly used in Israel. Today there was a meeting of this Russian horse and the Minister of the Turkish Foreign Affairs. So they discuss how to unblock the corridors that are leading from Ukraine ports to the open sea. Turkey proposed that their military fleet should escort Ukrainian ships with the food supplies. Russia said no, and there was no kind of agreement. This is percentage of the people that have good attitude towards Russia in Ukraine. So depends on the region. The highest we see the support of Russia, 4%. And now we're gonna see how many people hate Russia. It's like that. I live in a central part of Ukraine. People that say it hard to say are just 6%. Alright, and we have the statement from our army that probably we're gonna go and leave Severodonetsk for Lysychansk, my friends. We're gonna remove our forces from that part because it's too hard to lose so many people for that city. Sad news, but we have to do it. This is very funny, my friends. As you know, Russia lost their flagship Moskva, and they have this kind of modern ships in their fleet in the Black Sea, but those ships do not have the anti-aircraft missiles. So what they did, they put the Tor anti-aircraft system just in a place where helicopters used to land. And that is how it looks like. They removed the base, the vehicle itself, and they chained it to the deck. Very, very hilarious. We have so many jokes about Germany and Scholz and how he's giving the weapons to Ukraine. So this is how, oh my god, he said like Germany helps a lot to Ukraine, but my friends, really there are more promises than real help. Alright, this is funny. HIMARS Ukrainians Bayraktar. Don't cheat to Bayraktar. This is MLRS system. We are waiting for them to be delivered to Ukraine eagerly. Someone drawn the picture of Boris Johnson, looks like Cossack playing Ukrainian national instrument. Well, I know that some of you, especially guys from United Kingdom, some of you support Boris Johnson and some of you do not support. I have that in my comments constantly, but we are here not about politics, we are here about the support of Ukraine. I think we have huge support for Ukraine, and probably it doesn't matter if Boris Johnson would be prime minister or not. We'll still have the great support from Great Britain, obviously, my friends, but still people here in Ukraine like Boris Johnson because we associate Prime Minister of UK with your help. Great news from Lithuania. They are sending us 10 military trucks, 10 SUVs and 20 armored vehicles. And Bulgaria said no to Ukraine in military help. So you see that we have some of the countries that are in Europe not helping Ukraine, and some of the countries eagerly helping with all that they have. Spain just recently decided to send us lots of weapons and also these anti-aircraft systems. Spada, they are not long-range missiles but middle and short range. Alright, and some of the world news, my friends. In the United States of America, the special drug was tested showing 100% result in curing the cancer. That is awesome, my friends. I had some of the relatives who died because of that disease, and now we have some hope to cure it. And imagine something even close to that opening happening in North Korea or Russia. That is why we Ukrainians, we want to get rid of our past USSR and join the normal Western world where that is possible, my friends. I know that if you live in the United States, you probably don't like many of the things. If you live in Canada, you probably don't like, and it's normal, it's human behavior, normal human behavior. But try to live in Russia or North Korea. I think that we may put those countries at the same level now. My friends, I'll keep you updated about the situation here in Ukraine. Now press the like, subscribe to my channel. Also, if you can, you may support me on Patreon or PayPal. Part of the money I send for charity to support Ukrainian people here. And for those of you who help me with that, you are awesome, my friends. Stay awesome. I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time. Have a great day.